Sometimes I like to start off my videos by telling a riddle. So here's your riddle. How many marbles can you put in an empty bag? Pause the video if you want to think about it. The answer, it would be one. One marble, you can put one marble in an empty bag because once you put one marble in, it's not empty anymore. So anyway, as you can see, AP Algebra Prep, as we explore real numbers in section 1-3, objective today is to really understand how fractions work, what fractions are, and we will try to identify some key characteristics of fractions, but I want you to really try to seek meaning behind what you're learning today. Okay. As you could see here, we have a grilled island chicken kebab. Fresh off the barbecue, looks really tasty, and the recipe for that particular dish would be right here. And I just found this online. I wanted to show you a recipe because typically if you're in the kitchen trying to make something, you're going to see something that looks like this, in which you've got all kinds of fractions and you've got whole numbers as well, like we may have talked about in class. And probably the easiest part is when you're making a recipe like this, if you want exactly the number of servings that the recipe calls for, then all you have to do is, like I said, just follow the recipe and use your measuring cups and your measuring spoons as well to get the right amount of each ingredient to make your recipe and to be successful in cooking whatever it is that you're cooking. The problem is that sometimes you want either a little bit more or a little bit less or than what the recipe calls for, and we're going to talk about these kinds of things and how you modify these fractions. And so that's the motivation behind the lesson, because it actually is very, very important to be able to do these things if you want to be a successful cook, or if you just want to eat and not spoil your food when you're trying to follow a recipe. Okay, and by the way, this is just one application of fractions. Many times around the house you're trying to build something, you need to measure square footage and things like that, and you need fractions of, it's always something about fractions. You're measuring something. We'll be doing a lot of that in the upcoming weeks. So let's go ahead and advance to a clean slide here. I want you to do a couple things for me. I want you to draw a horizontal line across the top of your paper, and then draw a second horizontal line across your paper. And let's just assume that these two horizontal lines are pieces of spaghetti. You've got a green piece of spaghetti and a blue one. And the green piece of spaghetti, I want you to cut it in half. Okay, cut it in half. And then I want you to put a little hash mark at the very end, at the ends of the spaghetti, and do that actually on both pieces. Okay. And on the first piece, the green piece of spaghetti, I want you to put a 0 and do it in the same color. I'm going to change that. So you put a 0 over here and a 1 at the end, and then half of the spaghetti is going to be right down there, right down the middle, and 1/2. So then if we label the blue piece of spaghetti similarly, go ahead and 0 and 1 there. And I want you to cut the blue piece of spaghetti into thirds. Okay, so divide the second piece of spaghetti into 3 equal parts, and it's going to be something like that, something like that. And so 1/3 of the piece of spaghetti would be the first hash mark, but then 2/3, so 1/3 and then 2/3 would be right there. Okay. Now let's make another piece of spaghetti. Let's draw a third one. And we could keep doing this, and what I'm hoping that you're seeing here is that what we could do, if we continue to divide the spaghetti into more and more pieces, we should be able to see that one piece out of 2, that's what a fraction is, by the way, how many parts out of the whole, one piece out of 2 is right here in the middle. Well, one piece out of 3 is right over here. And then one piece out of 4, if we divide our red piece of spaghetti into 4 equal pieces, we can see that one piece out of 4 would be right there. Okay, and then 2 pieces out of 4, well, we already said that's 1/2. and then 3 pieces out of 4 would be right there. Okay? And so what I would like you to do, based on what you see there, hopefully you can you have a little bit more room at the bottom of your paper. I want you to write these fractions down. Okay, based on what we just talked about. Okay, write down these fractions. 1 over 2, 1 over 4, 1 over 5, 1/8, 1/3, and 1/10. So you have 6 fractions there, and I want you to order those fractions from smallest to greatest. Okay, and then go ahead and pause the video and play it back when you're done. So down at the bottom of my screen, I ordered the fractions from least to greatest: 1/10, 1/8, 1/5, 1/4, 1/3, and 1/2. And hopefully that matches with what you did, and that would be awesome.